Here we go. All right. I think the Facebook live feed is being a little bit taxed because everything's taking a little bit longer. So I'm gonna wait for folks to come in. I'm gonna draw some stuff on here. Okay. And we are going to do our noon live coaching. Okay. People have been telling me how very helpful this stuff is, and I am so grateful. I'm so like I might cry if I talk about it. I am so grateful that I can be here for you with already having the setup that I need to. If you hear that alarm, our car alarm is going off for reasons that are unclear to me. But I'm so grateful that I have been training my whole life for this. I've really been training my whole life for this. And I am so grateful to be able to bring you the tools of how to manage your mind through this crisis, okay? Because it is something we can do, all right? I want to urge you to like turn off the news, all right? Turn on my YouTube channel, like go and subscribe to me on YouTube, right? I have a ton of videos there. This is not the first time I've started making videos. I've literally been making videos for years, okay? And I've got like super, super interesting videos there that you can go and watch, binge those, okay? They will teach you mind management. All right, and I want to come at this from a place of why I do what I do, because I think it's going to help you understand why you do what you do, okay? Because yesterday we talked about how do you want to be right now and who do you want to be right now, and I actually the pads from yesterday, I put them up on my wall. These are sticky, like gigantic sticky notes, and they're up on my wall. And I have them here so that I can remember all the stuff that I do. Because on a moment basis, when my clients are coming to me panicking, oh my God, the sky is falling. I need that in order to create my own distance, right? I need that. Okay. And that gets a lot into what we're actually going to talk about today. But I want to tell you how I go about building my life. You know, a lot of you ask me and say, oh my God, Michelle, Dr. P, whatever, I don't understand how you do all the things that you do. And I do all of the things that I do because I have a fundamental belief that I am building assets in my life right now so that I can create the life that I want, okay? And there are some assets that I work on very, very hard. So like I have my business, and there are 6 assets I work on in my business, but I have my life, and there are assets that I work on in my life, okay? The number one asset in my life is my mind, and how I manage my mind. This is my number one asset in my life, okay? My number 2 asset in my life, all right, is the connection I have with other people. All right? I am here because I know how to connect with people through a little tiny camera, because I've been practicing doing it for like a year and a half, and maybe even like I find out right. But connection with other people is the second most important asset we have in our life, because what scares us the most as human beings is being separated from our group, okay? Building your connection with other people is an asset that you have in your life, and we do that lots and lots of different ways. As many people as there are on the planet is the number of. Do you guys see the cat? No, the cat wants life coaching too, right? Our connections with other people are how we go about building our lives. The better we manage our mind, the better we're going to create connections to other people, all right? And that's because our connections to other people are wholly dependent on how we show up and who we are, okay? The third asset in my life is the products of my life, okay? some of which I was in charge of and some of which I was not. Not in charge of being a daughter, right? I was a daughter. That happened because of a decision my parents made. My children happened because of a decision Andrew and I made. Right? And so there are products we have in our life. I have a doctorate in veterinary medicine. That's a product of my life. Right? I have a homestead in Maine. That's a product of my life. All right? I have processes in my life. All right? A lot of you have asked me how I've lost the weight, how I've quit drinking, how I've made the money, how I do all of that. All right? And we are going to cover this, but I will give you a sneak peek. It's called protocols. This is how I do everything. I have my day planned out. I have my eating planned out. I have the drinking planned right now because I don't drink more. I have my coaching planned out. Like, I have my budget planned out. I have a protocol for everything. I instituted a social media protocol the other day, and I am living through the discomfort of failing forward in my social media protocol, right? My processes, I'm very big on process, okay? And then finally, and this is the one everybody thinks about, my fifth asset in my life is the capital. Is it TLE? I don't know. Somebody tell me if it's ALE or TLE. The capital. So that's the money in the bank. That's the house that can be turned into money. That's the cars. Okay. All of that sort of stuff. We have things that can be turned into money. The 401ks, the retirement plans, all that jazz, right? So that's the capital I have in my life. It's in this order for a reason. This is not the most important thing in my life, I promise you. Okay, people are freaking out about toilet paper. I am a returned Peace Corps volunteer, cloth diapering mom. Do you really think I'm freaking out about toilet paper? I got a washing machine, we got rags, and it's totally fine, right? And I know that's gross, but like, whatever. I have an entire business predicated on the idea of don't eat the poop. I talk about fecal-oral transmission of disease every single solitary day. I'm a doctor. Don't care. So anyway, and that's true because I have managed my mind, all right? And so one of the things that I want to talk to you, or the thing I want to talk to you, because I'm only covering, like when I do coaching topics, sometimes we go longer, sometimes we go shorter, right? When we did our thought downloads a couple of days ago, okay, one of the things that I know I find myself writing down is I should be doing this, and I found this is the thing, but I'm going to share it with you. I found this thought yesterday, and one of the things I want to tell you is that all roads lead to Rome. Okay, you can change one thought in your mind, all right, and that's where all of this is leading. Just to let you know, we manage our minds by changing the thoughts that are not serving us. Okay, I'm not building unicorns and daisies and cupcakes. I am changing thoughts from less useful thoughts to more useful thoughts. We are just doing that, okay? That itself is hard enough. I am not going for heaven on earth, okay? So I was doing my self-coaching last night, and I'm part of like a lot of online groups, and one of them is this Online Business Building Mamas. And if you are running an online business and you're a mama, join that group, okay? Tell Samantha I sent you. And there was somebody on there, and she was talking about hair. All right, now, for those of you who don't know me, I have had a conversation, like I realized yesterday the conversation I have been having about my hair for like my entire life. Okay, I grew up with like straight blonde hair. If you look at a picture of my daughter Molly, and she's got like straight blonde hair, mine was strawberry blonde. It was straight, it was long, it was thick, and it was like down to here, right? In 7th grade, I got a perm, and I think it never went away. And it kept getting darker and darker and darker. And then when I got pregnant, my hair got curly. Okay, so 3 kids later, I actually have a head full of curly hair. And I was writing to this woman at Online Business Building Mamas, and she's like, what would help you the most about your hair? Because it's like, you know, society is what it is. I want my hair to look good when I'm on camera. Most of the time I don't care. You can see pictures of that. It's totally fine. And I was like, I just want to stop resenting my hair. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I resent my hair, right? And I know this is a really dumb thing to be talking about in times of coronavirus when businesses are closing and that sort of thing. But you know what? The way we approach one thing is the way we approach everything. And if you're beating the crap out of yourself because of how you look right now, I guarantee you, you are not being the leader that your community, your family, your business, your nation needs. That's simple. That's not brain's work. You don't have enough emotional energy to be doing that. I don't have enough emotional energy to be doing that. And I wrote that yesterday because I wanted to talk about frivolous things, right? Because here it's kind of frivolous. And I was like, and I realized that I was in what we call manual. I think my hair should be different than it is. Okay? And so today what I want to teach you, because I had this realization yesterday, and I turned to Andrew and I'm like, how much emotional energy do I waste on thinking my hair should be different than it is? Right? A lot. The answer is a lot. And I was like, oh my God, you know, like I'm a Wellesley woman, I'm a doctor, I'm a veterinarian, like I should know better. But get that? I should. I should know better. All right? SHOULD. I want you to spend 24 hours noticing how much the word should comes in your life. All right? Because here's what happens. When we tell ourselves we should be doing something, we're doing only a couple of things. We are either looking behind us and trying to make a more perfect past, which is not possible. Your past is exactly perfect, exactly as it is right now. It's way easier to accept that than to try and go back and change the past because it will never work. Okay? Or you are telling yourself reality ought to be different than it is right now. Reality is what it is. My hair is going gray, is brown, and is frizzy most of the time. Okay, I hot rollered it today, so it looks a little. But when we are in should, Trump should be doing this. The schools should be doing this. Other parents should be doing this with their kids. The post office should be doing this. Some be doing something different. We are in should, and we are shoulding all over our lives. And when we are shoulding all over our lives, we are rejecting reality as it is right now. Okay? When you are doing your thought downloads and you are trying to understand your own mind, one of the most important transformative things you can do is recognize where you are even thinking of the word should and just pause. And just pause right there. Because when you think the word should, okay, you will create a feeling, all right? And that feeling will be very, very negative, all right? The word should is always going to lead to a very negative feeling, all right? I should be a better mom leads me to, like, self-hostility, beating up myself, all right? It leads me to other thoughts like I'm irrevocably screwing up my kids by making the wrong decisions while they're in this unprecedented situation of having a God knows how long break in the springtime in Maine. It snowed this morning and nobody got to go outside, right? All of this cascade of negative emotion, all right, that you are going to see. And I want to encourage you, like, I'm not going to say stop the should. I've been doing this process, like this self-coaching time, and I found 3 different shoulds last night about what I should be doing about my relationship with Andrew, what I should be doing about my hair, and what I should be doing about my money. Right? I run a business, and my people need me right now, and when my brain is like back there on should and what should be happening to my own self, it's not out here leading my people. It's not helping the people, my family, and my community in the way that I need, because that's not how brains work, right? But what I can do is I can recognize that should, and I can pause. All right? And here's how that actually looks. Is like you feel super negative and you pause, and then I want you to ask yourself, what do I want in this moment right now? All right? And I'm going to show you what happens when you're in should. All right? you're going to pause and you're going to reflect on that should. What do I want right now? All right. Somebody should be, so like my kids shouldn't be arguing. Let's just take that line. All right. What do I want? If my kids shouldn't be arguing, I want my kids to get along. Kids. Because they should. Whatever it is that they're not getting along about. That's the noun that we're talking about. Dungeons and Dragons, television, you know, Wi-Fi devices, like that sort of thing. Okay, whatever the noun of what's going on is. When you think this thought, I want you to recognize how you're acting. I always tell people to recognize how they're acting because it's frankly an easier question than tell me how you're feeling. Right? We'll get to that next. How are you acting? When you think that the kids should get along, all right, how are you acting? Well, I don't know about you, but I yell at the kids. Right? I take stuff away. That's our favorite, probably least effective parenting solution. Right? I take stuff away because I'm mad. And I turn and I face the truth of my feelings. I'm mad. I'm just mad. I'm super mad. And I build evidence, all right, that the kids, when I want the kids to get along because they should, I build a whole story in my mind about how my kids never get along. But then you know what I'm doing? You know what I'm doing when I'm building evidence how my kids never get along? I'm just reinforcing this thought. All I'm seeing is the kids not getting along. I'm not seeing the kids actually get along because I've created this whole lens. I've built all this evidence that my kids don't know how to get along. Right? And the question becomes, do you want to live like that? Is that the story that you want to tell about your kids? There are people for whom that is the story that they want to tell their kids. The coaching process, probably not for them, right? And so if you want to tell a different story, you've got to recognize the story that you're in now, okay? I'll go over one that's actually happening. That's actually happening right now, and I'm going to address a really big topic: racism. Okay, racism. Our president just tweeted out that Chinese virus or something. You go look it up on Twitter. Okay, and so that Chinese virus or whatever variant that he just said. Okay, what do I want? I want people to recognize the racism. All right? Because they should. When I want people to recognize the racism of what our president said, I rage post. I get angry. I overconsume social media. If I turn and I'm doing this live, I haven't done this model yet. When I turn and I face the thought, the truth of my feelings, I feel super righteous. If you're ever wondering why half the world hates do-gooder liberals, it's because of this model right here. It's the model that I'm living in right now. Okay? I turn the face and the truth of my feelings, I feel super righteous when I think this. Okay? I feel super righteous when I think this. What evidence do I build? I build evidence that Trump is a racist. You know what that is? That is a thought that doesn't serve me. Thank you, I see you, that may or may not be true. And that's going to really freak some people out that I say that, but whatever. Right? When I build that evidence, I'm not recognizing my own white woman racism. And I'm actually increasing the level of racism in the world. Even though at first blush, it feels like I'm not. It's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. And so we can pause here. We can pause here and we can say, is this how I want to be right now? Is this who I want to be right now? And the answer is no. The answer is no, right? I've made a decision a long time ago that I don't want to hate Trump. I want to have compassion for him. I want to have compassion for his supporters because I want to live with compassion in my life. Because what was, when we go back here, number 2 asset in my life is connection to other people. If I'm sitting there being a racist, judgmental jackass, am I having compassion for other people? I'm not. No, I'm not. Right? It's so easy to get into righteousness and judgment, whether it's about other people, all right, or it's about ourselves, right? This is a very, very judgmental. We could write judgmental here. Because our kids, our next instant thought when we're judging our kids is we're judging ourselves, right? If we come at our world right now from a space of righteousness and anger and judgment, we will create more righteousness, anger, and judgment. And the question, I was watching a video that my coach did today, and she's a business coach, and she puts it very bluntly, would you rather be right, or would you rather be rich? Okay? Talk about rich in a lot of different ways. A lot of people who are spiritually rich and really don't care about the money, I kind of care about the money. I would rather be rich than I would rather be right, okay? I would rather be rich in connection and have compassion for somebody who says that Chinese virus. That does not mean I don't have compassion for my friend whose husband got spit on. I have a ton of compassion. But having compassion for somebody for whom this comes out of their mouth, all right, does not increase the amount of compassion in the world. Is that Pollyanna? Maybe. But I've done a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things. I have stood in front of a gun and stopped an honor killing. I stopped an honor killing. And I did that out of compassion for all 3 people involved. Myself, the woman who was about to be killed, and the guy holding the gun. Because that's the world I want to live in. It's the world I want to live in. And so, if we can get out of our should, all right, and we can pause, and we say, when I'm thinking this thought, is this how I want to be in the world right now, righteous and mad? Is it who I want to be in the world right now, yelling and rage posting? When you concentrate on creating connection with other people, all right, and really truly diving into that connection, you will find out all of that anger goes away, okay? Because our brains will not simultaneously be in service to the people we want to be in service to and be raged. It's just not possible. That's not how our brains work, okay? And so when we talk about serving the people we are meant to serve, it means serving the people around us. And that is a truly great honor. And that's how we're going to get through coronavirus, okay? We're going to serve ourselves by taking care of our minds. We're going to serve our communities by concentrating on connection. All the rest of this stuff, I promise you, will take care of itself. All right, that's what I got for you. You amazing, beautiful people. I am so happy that I can come to you in this time. Send me questions if you have them. And we are just going to cover life coaching topics. This was 3 of 30, so we're 10% of the way done. Imagine if you go through and you do this work with me, how much transformation is going to be available to you at just the end of 30 days. And it'll change your whole life if you let it. I love you so much. As my fellow coaches said, instead of, we're social distancing, I'm not, nobody's even touching elbows, right? We're definitely not shaking hands. Put your hands together in position and bow and look at the other person in the eyes and say, Namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. We are here together. We are in this together. Tomorrow, guys.